But let's not beat around the bush anymore. One of the most emotional, one of the most incredible stories of wrestling of all time involves Daniel Bryan, a man from Aberdeen, Washington, the same hometown as Kurt Cobain, the ultimate underdog town of the world, essentially. Nirvana rising from seeming obscurity in the Northwest, becoming as big of a band as the Beatles, up there in history, unchallenged, next to some of the greatest names in music history. Nirvana coming from Aberdeen, Washington. And now, all these years later, another long-haired, scruffy, underdog, man from Aberdeen, Washington, a logging town up in the deep Northwest, takes over the entire world. Not just wrestling, but sports everywhere. People that you would never expect to watch or hear about the WWE know the name Daniel Bryan, have participated in the Yes chant, are part of the Yes movement. Daniel Bryan brought me to tears when he retired. Daniel Bryan brought me to tears when he performed. Daniel Bryan brought me to tears when he returned. It was the most unexpected, out of nowhere moment I have ever experienced, the longest payoff, the everything that I could have ever hoped for being a lifelong wrestling fan. To see this moment was absolute validation that this form of competition, this form of entertainment is of the highest emotional caliber. And Daniel Bryan is now cleared for competition and will be competing at WrestleMania 34. Absolutely unbelievable. Graham, what was your reaction?
Had you told me this a month ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, I would have said, Tom, you're crazy. It's not happening. Let's get the dream scenario out of the way. He's not wrestling at WrestleMania 32, 33, 34. But here we are, WrestleMania 34, March 30th, 2018. And Daniel Bryan, we're talking about a return match for him at WrestleMania. This show wasn't already loaded enough between the first match we discussed and even the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We have Daniel Bryan getting back in the ring with none other than the SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon, who has never crossed paths with before, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, two men he hasn't even encountered in the WWE since he came back a few years ago. So this is quite amazing. I'm looking forward to this. Daniel Bryan, when I heard the news, I just went ballistic. We shared our adulation, our elation for this contest, Daniel Bryan getting back. And it's like, I never thought I would see the day. I knew your own investment, your fascination with Daniel Bryan. I knew you would love the news. I was excited. I was shocked as well. But the fact of the matter is, this is a reality, folks. It's not a dream. It's a dream come true. And we're getting that at WrestleMania. But the nightmare might come true as well. If Owens and Zayn win, they get their jobs back here. And SmackDown will become the site of catastrophe that it's been for many, many months now. I do think Owens and Zayn will find a way to emerge victorious. I know that's kind of a sacred to go against Daniel Bryan here in his first match back, but I feel like they have a card up their sleeve to find a way to beat Shane and Daniel Bryan. We're talking about a hospitalized Shane McMahon as well. The guy just was diagnosed with diverticulitis or whatever the heck it is.
Diverticulitis, yeah. A very acute, internal, painful diagnosis for that. And does he have enough time to now train at the high level that you need to train and not only compete at WrestleMania, but to compete alongside Daniel Bryan and compete against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? This is going to be a very, very brutal and tough matchup between all of the competitors involved. But is there a potential? Like you said, the jobs of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's future in the WWE are on the line. And anytime you back someone into a corner like that, they are going to come out with everything they got. But Daniel Bryan has been a general manager now for the last long run, over a year now.
Just about 2, yeah.
Does Daniel Bryan have a soft spot for his two kind of project friends in wrestling, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who he wants to see have opportunity? He does not want to see held back. Does this influence Daniel Bryan in a way where he allows them to win?
I think there's a chance that could happen. I mean, we got to go back to when he was firing these two a few weeks back. He was very hesitant. Yeah, very emotional. Very hesitant to pull the trigger in firing these two men.
I don't want to say that Daniel Bryan would lay down for them.
No.
I don't want to say that Daniel Bryan would throw that match. Because
this is Daniel Bryan we're talking about.
This is Daniel Bryan. He's not going to let anybody get one over on him. But does his emotions, when he goes to pin for a 1, 2, 3, does that hesitation, that slight moment of hesitation,
keep these men from their jobs?
Does that cost him the match on his return?
Knowing Kevin Owens,
or does Shane McMahon ruin the whole match because of his injuries?
I mean, let's not forget here, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon have been have been at odds now for many months. They have been feuding of sorts behind the scenes on SmackDown. So that could obviously play a factor. Are they a cohesive unit? I guess we'll find out at WrestleMania when they step in the ring. But Daniel Bryan, if he pins Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, Owens has to go home without a job. His family that he talks all about, Daddy doesn't have a job anymore at WWE. Will Daniel Bryan pull that trigger knowing he has a kid at home himself? Will he allow that to happen, is my question.
Yeah, and then that is the absolute battle, in the internal struggle that Daniel Bryan has been going through this whole time. He did not expect to be in this position, and now his heart is torn in two directions. Does he want to do right by his friend and colleague Shane McMahon? Absolutely. Does he respect Shane McMahon? Absolutely. Have they butted heads? Have they disagreed, especially about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Absolutely. But all I know is that Kevin Owens will do whatever it takes. Sami Zayn, maybe not. Sami Zayn definitely has more compassion than Kevin does.
Yes.
But Kevin is a soulless competitor. He does not care that Daniel Bryan is returning. Mm-hmm. He does not care about what the fans think. He does not care how loud that arena gets. Kevin Owens will run over anyone to do what he does because he is a prize fighter. That's what he's after. And you can't have a prize if you don't have a job. So, in that vein, the history between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens combined against a totally out of competition Daniel Bryan and a very injured Shane McMahon, I do believe that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have a bit of an upper hand going into this, despite the momentum, despite the emotion, and despite all of the jubilation surrounding Daniel Bryan's return. I think the crowd will find themselves, similar to the New England Patriots this year, a little quiet and stifled.
I got to agree with that. I mean, Daniel Bryan has not stepped inside a ring for a wrestling match in over 3 years. Let's not forget that fact either. So I do think the ball is in Owens and Zayn court, and I think they will get their jobs back one way or another at WrestleMania.